administer the oath of office to President-elect
June 30th marks the first day of the new 17th President of the Philippines, President Bongbong Marcos, a man whose father caused the downfall of the Philippines and led the infamous martial law and put the Philippines under debt that still today we have to pay. The next month showed little to no progress, and this video will show the timeline of the start of the Philippines' downfall once again. On the first day of July, many commuters and non-car owners had to wait in line for public transports, such as trains, jeepneys, and more. Now, this isn't necessarily the cause of President BBM, but his lack of work and projects toward making public transports more ease-free, reliable, and sustainable does make him a questionable president, as if his criminal records and last name doesn't already make him. The inflation rose up to 6.1%. Not only are the lines for public transportation getting longer, the prices for petroleum and gas are getting higher. The so-called free rides for the public becomes a double-edged sword. Those who decide to go home without cost are piling up, and the operators of the free public transportations are not getting paid. But before we continue, let's go back to the day and night of June 30th, the inauguration. On June 30th, many of BBM's fans and supporters flocked to watch him be inaugurated. But what if their view is getting blocked by porta potties? This image shows that many of BBM supporters' views were blocked by porta potties. Once the night came, so did their real personas. A private dinner party occurred where the gift for the attendees were gold. Seems like the Italiano gold was real all along. The celebration doesn't stop. Inside Malacanang, the Philippines equivalent of the White House, a party occurred. In this video, you can see wannabe socialites and elites partying and dancing, if you could even call that dancing. The time of this video is unknown, whether this was a celebration for the inauguration or the former First Lady Imelda Marcos' 93rd birthday party. Due to this celebration, the first cabinet meeting has been postponed to next week. Ella Cruz, one of the actresses starring in Made in Malacanang, a pro-Marcos film, made a remark that sparked anger from everyone. History is like chismis. This became the start of her victim-blaming era. Many well-known personalities shunned her opinion and told her off, such as a well-known host, Gretchen Ho, stating on her Twitter, "History's narrative, while subject to the perspective of the author, must be written based on facts and not opinion." By this time, the cabinet has yet to be completed, and the NAIA Airport, or the Ninoy Aquino International Airport, was requested by a provincial official and representative to be renamed after BBM's father, Ferdinand E. Marcos Airport, because somehow that was a priority. What wasn't a priority for him was having a DOH secretary or a Department of Health secretary, which is yet to be filled. The commuter and public transport problem has yet to be solved. A new movie regarding the last few hours of the Marcos family and their previous reign is being made, which is obviously biased. Rice and eggs are getting pricier. More statements are being made by the conductors and drivers of these free rides. One conductor stated, "We wake up at 3 a.m., leave the vehicle at 11 p.m., and sleep around 1 a.m. without getting paid. Taxpayers spend over 10 million pesos a day for the free ride or libreng sakay EDSA bus carousel." The cabinet member for education is Sara Duterte, the vice president of the Philippines and the daughter of the former president of the Philippines, Rodrigo Duterte, has stated that school uniforms for public schools are optional and not mandatory. This caused an online debate, many disagreeing with the situation, calling it anti-poor. Many states that having freedom with what you can wear allows individuality and freedom of choices. But others have stated that this can cause bullying and stress for students who don't have many choices. Other arguments they have are, instead of removing school uniforms, they should be free to remove the financial burden to poor families to look presentable. On this day marked the first and only successful school shooting in the Philippines. Despite bombing threats, war crimes, and lack of gun control, the Philippines rarely suffered with in-school or on-campus violence. Chow Tiao Yumo, the suspect, enters the prestigious Ateneo de Manila University. He arrived at school with the help of public transportation while carrying a gun. July 24 was supposed to be a particularly busy day for the university as it was hosting the Ateneo Law School, which was holding graduation rites for students with Supreme Court Chief Justice Alexander Gasmundo as guest speaker. According to the Quezon City Police Department, Yumol waited for the former Lamitan City Basilian Mayor Rose Furigay to arrive. Furigay's daughter, Hannah, is among the graduates set to receive their law school diploma that afternoon. Once Chow spotted Rose, he attempted to fire at her in close proximity. This occurred by 2:55 p.m. The incident leads to the death of 3 individuals: the former mayor Furigay, her longtime aide Victor George Capistrano, and Ateneo security guard Genevieve Bandiala. A police report says that the former mayor and Bandiala were declared dead on arrival in separate hospitals, while Capistrano died on the scene of the crime. The graduation ended up being suspended. The current president and vice president, alongside the former vice president Leni Robredo, showed their disappointment with the event that took place. Furigay and her husband are supporters of the Angat Buhay Foundation, an NGO project done by former VP Leni Robredo, which helps the poverty. This shooting was later revealed to be caused by their former professional relationship turning sour, with Chow Chow Yumo Clinic being ordered to be closed from the then Health Minister Safrullah Dipatuan of the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, or BARMM. This event will go down in history, but so will the presidency of President Bongbong Marcos. May Rose Furigay, Genevieve Bandiala, and Victor George Capistrano rest in peace. On this day, another event took place, but this time, there's quite no one to blame. An earthquake struck the Abra province at approximately 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., ruining many infrastructures and killing 5 people, according to the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council, or the NDRRMC. Spokesperson Mark Timbal. 65 people were hurt or injured, while approximately 428 houses were ruined. While these numbers are yet to be confirmed and is still being counted, President Bongbong Marcos stated that this is not a state of calamity and 3 provinces or areas must be affected before this can be called a state of calamity, with only Region 1 and CAR being the affected areas.